領域展開無料空所
Well guys, that wraps it up for Neon White. I enjoyed this game. I had a lot of fun playing this game, honestly. I love the story, how quick and simple it was, honestly. I'm kind of curious now what their real names were. I guess that wasn't really all that important, because I mean, I guess it's more better to call them white, violet, yellow, and green. I mean, they're a bunch of misfits that kind of came together, so let's assume that maybe some of them may not even know their real name. If I understand, with Violet, she's been killing like all her life, so some of them may not know their own names, some of them may do, some of them don't want to remember it. Maybe it's just better off that way. But honestly, on a scale from 1 to 10, honestly the game is a 9 out of 10. Honestly, giving it a 9 because I wish this game was longer, honestly. It's a lot of fun. It's like, honestly, I never thought I had this much fun with this sort of game, like this level sort of game, just going through the platforms and just going through these levels and going with such speed rush. Just get me excited just to try to get to that goal range, just to get to learn more of the story. It's honestly something that I never thought I'd be that addicted to, but I got addicted to this game as soon as I played it, honestly. It's like when I played the first mission, it was more of a, I don't really get this game, but then I played it again, and it's like I get through it, I feel the rush, and I'm getting these little card abilities, and it's quick, you know, it's easy to pick up, and I'm like, I'm loving this. You know, and honestly, I'm surprised at myself that I love this so much, because I don't know, I just didn't feel like I would like a game like this. But hey, color me surprised, man. I honestly just didn't expect it, and I enjoy this game so much. I love this game. This game's definitely going into my top goddamn, I got a lot of games in my top 10. I don't know, it might squeeze into there in some way. I don't know, I gotta resort it in my head. I got a list in my head, but I gotta resort it, alright? And at some point, I'm come back to you guys to let you know what that top 10 list is actually looking like. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get Neon White squeezed in there somewhere along the list, because this game is good. If you haven't played this game, I highly suggest you do. My favorite character is definitely, let's see, how should I go about it? My favorite character is definitely Red, honestly. I don't know, I just love Red's calm, motivating personality and all her flirtatious nature and her way she loves to tease White. I think it's just that nature of her character is definitely my favorite. White is definitely my favorite character after her though, and then it's definitely Yellow. Yellow is a chill dude, and honestly what Violet said in the beginning of the game kind of got in my head, got me thinking that Yellow really was gonna be a traitor and there's gonna be a little twist, but it ended up not being the case. Dude, Yellow was really just a chill ass dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he was just a chill dude. And honestly, I respect that. I truly respect that. Like, he was a real bro until the end. I mean, he was kind of dumb as bricks, but I mean, he had a good heart, you know. They were all killers, but the way they just portrayed them in the story, you would never really think, they don't really come off that way. They were killers with hearts, you know. They honestly had the motivation for doing what they do. They just didn't kill for the simple fact they wanted to kill. They killed for the money and only to make a living for themselves. And maybe that's because that's all they knew how to do. I think I would have loved to know, though, a little bit more about that backstory. It's like, yeah, we knew that Green found all of them, but we don't particularly know where they came from. We just knew they all been together, and I think White was the last one to join the group, so I don't know, I think that'd be a little interesting just to learn. But then again, maybe that's part of the allure though, you know, the mystery of like not really knowing how they all came together. There's just a bunch of random people who just so happen to have a common goal and they come together to work together. So I'm not gonna sit here and push that to the side and say that, you know, that's really needed. You know, they can, you know, get that out of there and they don't really, you know, have to add that to the story. But it would be a nice little touch to it. And honestly, if they want to do another game similar, I don't think this game needs a sequel at all, honestly. If they wouldn't do another game similar to this, you know, and with a whole bunch of new branded characters, I would love for them to do so. Honestly, I didn't look into who developed this game, but they did a great job on this game. It's crazy it took me this long to play this game. I played this game, I got it because it was on sale in PlayStation Store, and I honestly liked the art, so I came into it, and I had it for a while. I thought I had it for like I think I had like, what, 2 months ago, and then I just ended up now playing it. So hey, this game is amazing. All right, it's a really amazing game, and honestly, I would have finished it a lot sooner, but you know, personal life stuff, so I ended up taking my time with it and didn't really rush through it. But it's a great story though, and if, like I said before, if you haven't played Neon White, I highly suggest you do. I really mean it. You should play this game, honestly. But White's a great character. Everybody in this game is really great. They're really fleshed out, and their personalities are really made to show you what kind of person they really are. I think the only character I feel like they didn't really get that much to show who they really are is probably, funny enough, is the Believers. While we know the Believers aren't really angels, it's like, I guess, no. I think the Believers are supposed to be like demons, right? I think it's really demons disguised as angels and whatnot. Now I was kind of curious to see what the believers like kind of truly look like. I wonder if they just look like the regular demons or they just look different, you know. So I can't remember what it was, if they were demons or if they were like human souls that pretending and they overrun God and basically took over the whole place. So yeah, that whole thing going on, and I honestly was kind of curious to see what the true form looked like. Now I had to say, when I did see the true form of Mikey and Gabby, that definitely kind of threw me off guard for a bit, because that shit's horrifying, not gonna lie. I get it, it's supposed to be like a biblically accurate look of what an angel's supposed to be, but that shit doesn't change the fact that it's not horrifying to look at. I honestly prefer the cat form that he was taking. It's pretty hilarious how he got into arguments with White all the time. I do love their bromance they got going on, man. They just kept arguing with each other. Well, I didn't even say it like a bromance. Honestly, it's more of my like uncle and nephew always arguing with one another. You know, he got the wacky nephew coming in and whatever he wants and telling his uncle what's going on with his life and what his problems is, and uncle doesn't want to hear it because he got his own problems and nagging at one each other, and it's like yeah, and it's gotta be one of my favorite relationships in this game, honestly, man. It's just a lot of funny just talks and conversation that goes on in this game. The dialogue is amazing in this game, honestly. I felt like at some points that I thought that the dialogue would come off as like kind of cringe a bit. I thought it was gonna feel that way, but then again, as I played more, it felt more natural to me. You know, some games kind of incorporate like kind of modern slang, like the way we usually talk, you know, might say like no caps and shit like that into the game, and then like it might come off as kind of cringe because like yo, like this, I just don't feel like this character would say something like that. But in this game, it don't really feel like that. Now that's not to say anybody in this game really, I don't think they really use any modern slang like that in this game, not for like a remember. Honestly, I think I like their jokes a lot though, and they just come off really genuine and they just flow together. And honestly, as a group, they just really mesh together well. And learning Green's motivation for why he does what he does, even though he's still a complete asshole, all this for revenge. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some kind of lesson inside this game, honestly, and I think that lesson would be is that don't chase after revenge and abandon your friends. Honestly, guys, revenge is not worth it. If somebody done you wrong, then I'm sorry that it happened to you, but going after revenge doesn't solve that issue. It doesn't fix it. It doesn't just, I mean, I guess it could make you feel better for the moment, and then kind of like at the end we saw what White confronted Green. He's laughing, he's chopping it up, and it's like, bro, like, what does that matter? Half our team is dead. We're the only two left. Who cares if we succeeded in the mission? If everyone's dead, then what's the point? You know, and White had to get that across, and I like that. There was a lot of people who had to learn a lot of lessons in this game, you know. White had to learn to get his memories back. He had to learn to stand up for himself and be his own man instead of being in someone else's shadow, and learn to make his own decisions instead of trying to leave the decisions to other people because he was too scared to make the right or wrong decisions. But you know, that's just part of life. You're gonna make the right or wrong decisions all the time. The point is that you made the decision yourself, and that's the most important factor of the matter. And Green, being the manipulative leader that he is, well, I can't even really call him a leader, to be honest with you. It's kind of funny that he's even appointed a leader when in fact the only person who could convince the rest of the team to even go on that last heist was White himself. So that says a lot, honestly. White was more of a leader for that group than Green ever was. Green might have trained him. I say Green might have been a great trainer for them, but as far as a leader, I think they only gave him the leader position because he was the one who founded the group. But if we're gonna really put it up for the leader position, honestly, it was always White. Even Red said she would have never done the mission, the last mission, if it's for the fact that White said that, you know, he's confident that Green said that, you know, he's confident in what Green's saying that the mission's gonna be successful. But she said herself at the end, she was like, if she knew that White wasn't confident, she would never done the mission. Same thing for Yellow, even Violet. They trust White's opinion and his instinct a lot more than Green's. And that, like I said, that's like, it really explains a lot about White and Green's character. While they do acknowledge Green as a leader of the group, they really respect White as the true leader of the group. They just acknowledge Green as the leader, but they respect White. You know, they listen to White, and that says a lot, honestly. And I like his growth throughout the whole game, honestly. I like how the more he got his memories back, the more he realized that the mistakes he made, the more he tries to do right, he tries to fix things. And then I like how Red is also kind of going through her own growth as well, when she like admits to the fact that she did indeed resent White for years. And you know, because they've been doing this for years, this whole hunting demon thing for 10 days, and then they will all basically just disappear again. And then it's also interesting to learn that in the end that White was never going to technically become a Neon, because White had already, he was seeking forgiveness and atonement, so there was no real reason for it. He was never going to sink to the top of the glass, what was it, the glass part thing they called it? It was a glass bottle or something like that. No, glass ocean. He was never going to sink to the top. He was never going to float to the top because, well, his soul wasn't that stained with a whole bunch of sins or anything in that nature. He actually wanted atonement compared to everybody else. And honestly, I'm glad that things turned out the way they did. You know, I never expected everybody to survive in this game. I'm pretty sure everybody was going to be dead anyway. And the minute I learned that everyone in this game was dead, I knew, like, yeah, everybody's gonna be not gonna make it to the end. All right, we're already in the afterlife. Come on, guys. I've seen Angel Beats. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen the anime Angel Beats. It's kind of similar to this in a way, without all the neons and assassins and stuff like that. But you know, if you've seen it, you've seen it, and let's be honest, that's a real tearjerker. Man, you guys really got me thinking about Angel Beats right now, man. I try to like bury the anime like in the back of my mind, because every time I think about it, I feel really sad. It kind of puts me in a really down mood, and I don't like feeling in a down mood. But I love this game, honestly. One day I'm gonna have to replay this game. I'm gonna try that level rush out. I'm not sure what that is just yet, but I'm gonna try it out. It looks like it ought to be a lot of fun. Also, red, great character. White, great character. Violet, great character. Green, great character. Yellow's a great character. You know, Yellow did indeed, I say Yellow probably had like the least when it comes down to like interactions, but they kind of made up for it with the whole you doing the side missions, dialogue, with White talking to him over time. So even after Yellow is dead, you can still get to know Yellow more and more, and then you get memories, you know. And I love how this game sets it up so it ain't just straight dialogue, because obviously the devs kind of know that you want to see some memories, you want to see the past, you want to see their relationship expand more, and they give you that after you do a certain amount of level. So it really keeps you motivated to keep wanting to push more and more, because I want to know more about the story. And definitely that was my driving factor in this game. I want to know more about these characters, I want to know more about the story, and they got me really invested into the game. So I'm glad that this game played the way it did. The gameplay mechanics are wonderful, honestly. More games should actually strive to go with this route to keep things more simple. Honestly, there should be way more games like this. I'm pretty sure there is, I just haven't played them yet. Maybe, I'm not sure if there's mini games exactly like Neon White exactly, but per se, maybe there is other games that's kind of similar, or maybe like somewhere in that category where they got a story that's kind of like short, sweet, simple. I wouldn't say this game is like really that short, but I mean, honestly, if you want to be honest, if you played it like a full day, a full 24 hours, the entire day, it probably take you at best a day. No, probably like 2 days. That depends on how long you're playing, honestly. And I need to say 2 days, maybe like 3 days at best. That's if you're consistently playing all day long. So I don't think it will take you that long. Even then, maybe 3 days is too much. I say maybe 2 days if you're consistently playing all day long. Even then, if you're going like at top speed, making no mistakes, you might get there like a day and a half. So I'm pretty sure I've seen some speed runs, people breaking records. I didn't watch the speed run videos, but I've seen like people breaking records and speed runs and things like that. So hey, this game right here, some golden shit. I'm really happy I found this game. I'm surprised it took me this long to realize this game, honestly. It makes me think now that I should really start looking into games that have like big games that came out that's really popular in like the last decade that I just haven't played, and this is one of them. And I'm surprised when I saw how popular this game was and how well received and how much love this game received. So honestly, hey, kudos to this team. I give them all their flowers. Kudos to the dev team. You know, and white, green, red, yellow, violet. It's funny how they decide to use colors like that, and they portray the characters, you know, and it matches their mask. Also, the aesthetic of this game is amazing. You know, honestly, I love the mask. The mask is like kind of like put me in mind of like, how should I say it? It kind of reminds me of the mask for what's the game? I'm trying to think of what's the game. The mask is for Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, first Spider-Man game. You fight against Mr. Negative, and he goes and he works with this group, and I can't remember the name of the group. And they also kind of wear masks like that, little demon-like masks. But the masks are really dope, though. Honestly, really dope. And I like how like the masks are honestly used as kind of like prison for everyone as a neon to prevent them from portraying. But honestly, the believers are trash, by the way. You would think they'll try to fight back a little harder, but I don't think the believers ever actually had any like combat ability. At least I don't think they did. But honestly, we saw at the end that Green was the real menace here, and the only reason why they had control of Green because he had the mask, and then also he had a little thing around the halo around his head that kind of kept him in check. So the believers are really trash, and it's kind of funny that they never really like suspect that Green was gonna betray them after all this time. That's honestly says something a lot about the believers. Either they were just fucking overconfident and underestimated Neon's way too much to notice, or they were just scared of him. I believe it was just the latter. They were really scared of him, honestly, and they just didn't want to get too, like, you know, provoke him too much, because they felt like that maybe even if he did have the hell around his head, he could indeed harm them. So I think the believers are just kind of like there, you know, just trying to play it cool. Don't want to know too much, honestly. You know, I thought they were gonna be like the big bad threat in this game, but you know, it's like, man, they're kind of fucking trash. They talk a big game, and at the end of the day, they really don't accomplish anything. They always talk about how they seal God and overthrew that. I honestly wish they could have showed that. Honestly, I want to see how they honestly went down, how they actually came, invaded, and took down God and sealed them away, and sealed the pen away, and the book of life kind of went missing, and they took the book of death, and kind of established this whole system going up, and have all these neons just out here doing this. So honestly, I wish the best for this game. You know, hope white, violet, green, and blue and yellow. Not said blue and yellow, violet and yellow, end up living their best life, and maybe they get reincarnated down to earth again, and you know, you get to try again and maybe live a better life. But for the most part, though, like I said before, that's probably about it for me, honestly. I could go deeper. Also, well, I will talk about Violet really fast. Violet is batshit crazy, insane, honestly. She's out of her goddamn mind for the most things she say and things she do. Violet only really cares about, herself. I thought she only cared about herself, but obviously she cared about her Green most of all. But she do indeed care about her team. As much as she try to play like she doesn't, she doesn't even care a lot about red and white and green and yellow. She cared about them a lot. They're obviously like family to each other. Whether she wants to show that or not, it's kind of obvious when you see she had a card game with white at the end, but poker. If she didn't really care, she would have never really tried to socialize and be that close to them, but she does anyway, even though she tries to attempt to kill them all the time. Maybe that's just her twisted way of showing love. In its own twisted way. I don't know. It's kind of hard to really read Violet's mind, because it's kind of like all over the goddamn place. At some point, I start trying to read her, honestly. She spills so many goddamn lies and just say whatever she feels at the moment. It's like, I don't really trust what you say, but we're just gonna go with it. And, you know, Yellow, I mean, I ain't really got much to say for Yellow. Yellow's just bro, you know? He's the chill dude, bro. He's the big brother of the team who's kind of just like chilling, you know, like, we're gonna get the drinks, we're gonna just hang, like, you know, just do your thing. But all that being said, folks, that's gonna be all for that. All right. Honestly, I could get deeper into it about more characters like Green, but I might make a extra part, you know, just commentating and talking more about this game. But for right now, that's gonna be all, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like videos, side videos. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Honestly, I know I went a long time talking about Neon White. I had so much to say about these characters and how deep I really want to like just explain and talk about how I feel about these characters, but you know, I don't want to drag this out too long, honestly, and I kind of have somewhere to be, so, and it's getting kind of late. But anyway, that's besides the point. All right, like I said before, I'm Spectro. I hope you guys have a great day. Experience God next time. See ya.